let's go through the solution. So hopefully you did really, really well. Hopefully you got as much of it as you possibly can. And if you didn't get everything, that's okay. If you missed out on just a few things, once we go through the solution, you're probably just going to be like, that's all it is. I still get that experience all the time. The really cool thing about this course is it's not like once we've done this, we move on to completely unrelated subjects. The way I've designed this course is that it builds on what you learn for every single section. And it's based on my experiences with training people in groups, in face-to-face, online, whatever it might be. So we will be advancing the things you learn here, and we'll go over things here and there. So let's get into the solution. So you're going to see me looking left and right. I've actually got a screenshot of this because it will help when we rebuild. So let's start with pie chart number 1. So we're going to do segment, sum of profit, and then we're going to do some like formatting. So this is a pretty standard pie chart. Let's first create a new sheet. And we have here sum of profit, profit and segment. So I'm just going to start with what we need. So profit and segment. So holding that control button, we're going to go to the show me, and we're simply going to select the pie. So that's step 1. And we're going to expand this. Now your one's going to have the standard colors. The reason mine looks like that is because I've already built it. And whenever you use, let's say, segment, it's always going to do the same colors. It's very smart for Tableau because, for example, when you have a dashboard and you have lots of different visualizations or different sheets all using segment, they all get colored the same. And this is really important because when your eyes look at a dashboard and you see a color and it's got segment in it, for example, you will naturally assume everything else that's red is also segment. If it's red in one and blue in another and then green in another, it just causes heaps of confusion, heaps of mistakes. So we don't want to do that, and we let Tableau do the hard work. So let's get into the labeling. We're going to drop segment into label. Then we're going to bring in profit, and this is to do the percentage. So we're going to drop in the profit, right click here, quick table calculation, and percent of total. That's going to make our percentage. Then we can add profit again. All right, so we've got that. And now we're going to do the text formatting. So we just click on label, 3 dots, and we're just going to move this stuff around. So we're going to bring segment to the top. So I just do the click and drag, Control A, just to highlight everything. We're going to go center justified. I'm going to make this one a little bit larger, so 12 bold. And we're going to put brackets around the percentage and red. Don't be scared if you accidentally delete this, you can always add it back in using this insert. Okay, so there we have it. I'm going to go preview just to make sure it's good, and it is, and we're just going to go OK. Then to select the color, I'm going to click here in colors. I'm going to go edit colors, and we're going to apply the summer palette. So we click on summer, and then you have to click assign palette. You'll notice this one has changed from blue because by default it does green, green, red. I actually just clicked on this and changed it to blue in my example. So we're going to go OK, and that is the first one. Done. Let's do the next one, which is this pie chart right here. Exact same thing, right? So again, this is just a little bit more practice, but using different fields. So let's go through that again. So in this one, it's going to be region and sum of profit. So we're going to go region and sum of profit. Show me pie chart. So that's step 1. We're going to expand it, entire view. Then we're going to add the labels. Little trick, instead of bringing it in here, what I actually do once I've created is I just hold control and I grab it from in here. It just saves me some microseconds, but I'm always thinking, who am I competing with? There's going to be other analysts in this team, or other analysts in other areas, or other people I'm competing with for jobs or whatever. Any edge I can get to build things a little bit faster, I'm going to take it. You got to think of yourself as an athlete. You're trying to get any gains you can. So you're constantly trying to improve yourself. So what I do is I hold control and I just grab it from here and I can drop it into label. And from here, I can also hold control, grab profit, and duplicate it as well into label. Then I'm going to right click, quick table, percent of total, and then from here, do it again, sum of profit into label. When you get really quick, you can do that like really quickly. So let me show you when you get really good at this. So you just go bang, bang, quick table, percent of total, and then drop it in again, and you're ready to go. So very quick. We're going to go text label, 3 dots, and we're going to format this again. So bold, 12. We're going to move this one down here. Bracket, bracket, red, preview, happy, okay. That's the next one. And we're going to apply another coloring here. So it's Nuriel Stone. We're going to go edit colors. And here it's already applied. So Nuriel Stone, assign palette, and okay. So that one is now done. Let's do the next one. Now this one gets a little bit tricky. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. Some advice for you when you're recreating a bar chart, or you've seen something someone else has done and trying to recreate it so that you can do something else. When you're a beginner, it's hard to know exactly the structure. So here is what you can do. I'm actually going to go to the sheet like so. So this is the sheet. And what I do, especially when I start, is I'm only looking at the elements required to build this. I don't care how it's built. I just care about what elements are in it. So for example, region, segment, ship status, and these are all the same, so quantity. So as long as I bring in those 4, that's kind of half the problem already done. So let's get into a new sheet. So I need region. So I'm going to click region, holding a control button. Let's grab segment. Let's grab ship status. And let's get quantity. So once I have all those elements selected, I'm going to go show me. And it is a bar chart. So this one right here. And it builds it. Now Tableau is going to try and guess the layout, but it might not get it exactly how you want. So what you can do from here is look at what you're trying to make it and then look at the differences. So I'm going to bring this one over just so we have an overlay. The very first thing we have is that the first one is region. That straight away tells me this region pill should be first. So let's start with that. Let's grab region. And just waiting for that orange triangle to turn up so that we know exactly where it's going to drop. There we go. So now we have region as the first break. So let's go back into paint. Trusty paint. The next one is segment. I can see that segment's already here. So that's good. And then shipping status is not here. Instead, it's at the top, which tells me shipping status needs to go into columns. So let's take that and drop it here. You'll notice as well when you have the orange, it does not give you an option to put it in front of the green one. That is because dimensions always come before measures. There we go. And bringing up paint, we can see that it's now, I think that's correct. Yeah, there we go. Now we have it completely finished already in just a few clicks, quick clicks. It's very late. I'm tired. My language is going nuts. All right. The next thing is the coloring. So we have quantity. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab quantity and drop it into color. That's one option. Or for me, I always grab from here. The main reason is in case I've done some sort of quick table calculation or I've done shelf calculations or done all sorts of things to it, I know I'm replicating this, which is this, in here, right? So we'll get to that when we get a bit more advanced, but I like to grab it from here and drop it into color. But again, you can grab it from here as well and drop it into color, no big deal. Let's go into colors and then edit the colors. So in our example, it is, I'm pretty sure sunset, sunrise, sunset color palette. So go in here, sunrise, sunset, where it's kind of around here. And we're going to go apply. That looks good. And we're going to go okay. So that is basically your bar chart. So let's tackle the next one, which is, I believe, a line chart. Let's go here. All right. So what we're trying to do is this one right here. Again, we're going to look at the elements. We have profit, but not just any profit. We have sum of profit. So we're actually going to start with that. So let me, oh, hang on. Let me get out. Actually, no, it won't do that. We'll just go straight. So we'll go profit, and then we have order date. Now I'm going to pretend I'm a beginner and not know the difference between discrete and continuous. Maybe I forgot. That's okay, right? So we have that, and I'm going to go into sheet 10. So we have sum of profit, order date. So I don't know the difference, right? Pretend I don't know. So I'm going to pick any. I'm going to pick this one, not knowing the difference. And I already know it has to be at a month detail. So this one's set to year. And if I go to, if I press this button right here, straight away I'm like, that doesn't look anything like what I have here. So if that ever happens, you're like, maybe it's continuous. So try the other one, see what happens. So I'm going to go backwards. All right, so go back to the beginning. I'm going to go show me. And let's switch this from this one. Let's try the other one. All right, so we have that. And then we're going to switch this to month. So I'm going to click this. It's going to go quarter. And then I'm going to go month. Now looking at the other one, where's the paint? Looking at this one, they're not quite the same because I'm missing running sum. So let's do that first. So I'm going to click on run sum of profit, quick table, and running total. There we go. And the last step is the color. So you can see this is split up by region color. So let's bring in region and drop it in color, and let's see how it looks. And there we have it. So that's the final result. Oops, hang on, where's paint? You can see those look exactly the same, right? All the patterns match. That's that one done. So let's head over to the next one, which is this area chart. So we have a few elements in here again. So we have order date, but notice with this one, the structuring is a little bit different. We actually have year, we have quarter, we have sales, and we had year and order date. This last one we'll ignore for the moment because we do that at the very end. Let's just look at these elements here. Let's go into a new sheet. Let us do, let me bring this over here. Let's do order date and let's do sales. Let's grab sales, and I'm going to again do an area chart. Let's pick this one and see how it looks. So I know it should go all the way to quarters. So let's try quarters. Doesn't look quite right. So let's go show me and try the other one. So I think it's this one. So discrete area. That's now looking a lot closer. I've got these quarters in here. This matches quarters. So that is all good. I'm going to expand this a little bit just so we can see it. There we go. The next thing we have to do is add some color. So this one is colored by year. Let me just bring it up. We're colored by year. So what we actually have to do is bring in the coloring of the order date, but make sure it's set to year. So what we do is we grab order date and drop it into color. That automatically is set to year because year is the highest level of detail. Okay, but sometimes you may want to color by quarter or color it by month, for example. So let's say I've got, for example, bars like this, and I want to color it by quarter. Well, I can just switch this to quarter, and now they have changed color. So I've got that option as well. Just depends what you want to do. The next thing we have to do is add the label. So we're going to add the sum of sales as the label. So let's take sales, drop it into label, and there we have it. And we only want the most recent value. So we're going to go label, and we're going to go most recent right there. That just gives us that 1 point. And the last thing is we want to reduce the opacity by 70% or to 70. So this is now, there we go. So if you can't get it quite at 70, I believe you can just type it in, 0, enter, and that is your 70%. I think that's all we have for that one. So that one's done. And now the last one, which is this one, which is a column chart. So the only difference between bar charts and column charts is bar charts go horizontally and column charts go vertically. You know, columns go this way. Let's get a new sheet. Okay, so what we need for this one is, again, let's look at the elements. We've got segment, sales, we have category, so I can see category up here, which is this top one, and we have ship status, which is down here, which is the bottom one. So let's bring those elements in, and let's see how the visualization looks. So let's grab segment. So this one would have challenged a lot more of you, I believe. Let's get category, ship status, and sales. So column chart, let's go show me. I have column chart right here. Let's click it and see what happens. Tableau is trying to guess the best way to visualize the data, but it's clearly not what we have. So let's try and work backwards. Let's reverse engineer this. First of all, let's start with the rows. So the rows should be consumer, corporate, and home office, right? Oh, sorry. It should be segment, right, which contains those three. So let's bring segment into rows as the first thing. So we'll do this step by step. Segment, move it into rows. That's step number one. The next thing we're going to do is we have sales. So it's a vertical grouping already. That's fine. That's vertical. So that's good. Then we have here on the top category and shipping status. So let's bring both of those to the top. I'm going to take this category and I'm going to move it here instead because this coloring doesn't look right anyway. So let's move this over here. Let's see. So now we're getting a bit closer. Let's see how we look. So here we have category, but we've got ship status and category in reverse because you see how it's splitting by ship status before it's splitting by category. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab ship status and bring it to the other side, and that will reverse them. So now let's have a final look. That now looks much better. Office furniture, office supplies, technology, early delivery, and so on. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to color by segment. So let's take segment and drop it into color. I'm going to edit the color. I believe it is Nuriel. No, summer color palette. So let's go color, summer, here, assign palette. Just switch that one back to blue as well and go OK. So that is your column chart. So those are all the individual charts that we've made. Now we have to put them together into a functioning dashboard. So let's first give these names. So I'm going to call this pi, caps lock, pi 1n. Let's call this pi 2n. Let's call this bar n. And that's just to distinguish from these ones. That's the only reason I'm calling them n. Let's call this line n, area n, and the last one, which is column n. Now we're going to build a dashboard. So using this button right here, let's build that. And let's bring all of these in. So again, the easiest way is to just chuck them all in and then move them around later. That's how I go about it. Or you can drag them in one by one and shape it. It's totally up to you. But I usually just double click each of these until they're all inside. So that's the first thing I do. So that way when I'm laying things out, I don't want to actually go, oh man, I forgot to add that one in, and then I have to shift everything again. So I want to make sure that, sort of like before you start cooking, get all your ingredients out so that you don't forget one. So now let's do the sizing. And I'm going to go fix size, we'll leave that there. And we're going to customize this. Obviously with your monitor or your screen, if it's different size to mine, just choose whichever is appropriate. And there we have it. So let's start putting things where they should go. So the first pi is here. The second pi should be here. So let's reverse these two. So I'm going to take this pi, grab the handle, make sure it's activated, otherwise you won't see the handle. Let's slowly, I'm going to do this slowly until you have something like this. And that probably makes sense. Remember, Tableau is going to try and fill in the available space. Drop that in. Okay, so now we've rearranged it. That looks like it's okay. I'm not worrying about perfect sizing just yet, just putting them roughly where I think they should go. This one is actually this bar chart, so let's move this one up here. Do that slowly. I'm going to put it, yeah, that'll do. We're going to bring this line chart here to the left side, so let's grab this one. Now when you're replacing it, you can see it covers the whole thing. That means the other one's going to shift the other way. So now we have bar chart there, and the area chart goes in between. So let's grab the handle, slowly, slowly, slowly. Don't rush this. And there we go. We have like a middle kind of insert. Let's drop that in. Great. So we're getting pretty close. The next thing is we're going to move these legends. So year of order date is this one. So let's grab the handle and slowly we'll drop it underneath here. Go. This color scale, we don't actually need it. So we're just going to press X. Region goes underneath the line, so let's move that slowly. It goes there. Great. Again, still not worrying about exact formatting. This profit we don't need, we don't make use of it. And this segment we also don't use, so we can get rid of it. There we go. So you can see that the container has disappeared because there's nothing in it. The last thing we're going to add is a title, and we should be done with layout. So going down here to the bottom left, you'll see show dashboard title. Let's click on that. And now we have dashboard. Once I have all the elements, and I know I'm not going to add anything in, now I can worry about really cleaning it up and making sure everything fits nicely. So let's get these proportions correct. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to adjust this one. This one has to go with that. And let's make this a little bit better. There we go. So now everything's kind of like locking into place. These ones are using up quite a bit of space with nothing in them. So let's reduce this until it becomes one row. There we go. Same for this one. And to make these closer, let's just go here to this left side of the color and just reduce that. Okay, there we go. And we can start editing the titles. I'm not going to do it because I pretty much put instructions in the other one. But, you know, to modify these, we're simply going to double click and you can start typing away what you need. That is essentially the assignment. So hopefully you learned a lot. Take the assignment as often as you want, maybe mix it up. But quite literally, with just these skills alone, you can go to work tomorrow or whichever day and start building real life, real world application dashboards that will actually solve problems. How awesome is that for the first hour? So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you at the next one. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn the entire Tableau platform, consider enrolling into my course. It's one of the highest ranking courses on Udemy, and enrolling today, you'll be joining the almost 200,000 students that have enjoyed my courses over the years. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you in the course.